What's up, guys? Mr. Dan back again. This is the part 2 of the Horrorbles Tag video. I'm in what could be my movie man cave. We'll see. Got a lot of cleaning up to do. Threw some stuff on the wall behind me. Okay. Anyway, this is part 2 of the Horrorbles Tag. I've already made a part 1. I was struggling a bit with some of the choices, and then I had something of a terrible epiphany today. I'm just gonna beat up on a single movie, like, mercilessly here in a minute. But anyway, the Horrorbles Tag was created by the Nightwatch Zone, and I was tagged by Lady Shasha. So thank you to both of those channels, and thanks to everyone who's been subscribing and commenting and watching. This should be short and sweet. I only left four choices left. I was gonna punt on one and just say that I couldn't think of anything. I didn't want to do that. But my rule that I adopted for myself was that I had to see the films. Okay? So, for example, it was The Final Girl. Okay. We'll start with worst villain. Okay? There are probably worse villains in movies, but I'm not going to include, like, the Ginger Dead Man, because I haven't seen it. I'm probably not going to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it just for this video. I know the reputation of some truly awful films out there. But I'm going to go with this kind of a strange one. The movie's not terrible. It's Rituals. I think it might be Ritual, from 1977, starring Hal Holbrook and Lawrence Dane. Canadian film, a Canucksploitation film, if you will. And I saw the Trailers from Hell video about this, and I kind of got pumped up for it. I was like, wow, a 70s horror movie I haven't seen. Like, maybe it's a hidden gem. And it's not horrible. It's pretty good. It's about some doctors that go on a trip. They're yelling and screaming at each other the whole time about ethics and things. And at any rate, they attract the attention of someone who's kind of like lurking around and watching them. And then they kind of start getting stalked. Their boots go missing. Things are left for them to find, and it gets kind of gruesome, and people start getting picked off. And then it turns out there's a reason for it. There's a connection to them being doctors. And I don't know if the villain or the bad guy ever had a name or anything, but he's upset that he was had some surgery at one time and he was disfigured, and that's why he's taking revenge on these doctors. So I mean, I'd much rather watch Dr. Phibes or Dr. Phibes Rises Again, like 3 times before I watch this again. Also, I think at the end they had a weird thing happen where the final sequence looks extra dark because one of the prints, something happened to the print. Anyway, the big reveal isn't that great. Again, it's not the worst, and he's not the worst villain, but we didn't know it. Like, you weren't watching this from his perspective. I forget if there was a connection between these actual doctors. I don't think so. I think he was just mad at the medical profession. So, I mean, it wasn't like, Theater of Blood, Vincent Price was upset at those critics. Dr. Phibes, he was upset at those doctors. Anyway, wasn't a great villain. Worst kill. Okay, now here's where I'm going to beat up on Wrong Turn 5. What a crap movie. Okay, the first one was great. I really liked the first one. The makeup effects were great. It felt like you were there in the woods in West Virginia. It felt like you were in their dirty, nasty house. You know what I mean? And these inbred dudes in the woods who were cannibals. Okay, it was just pushed all the right buttons. It was a very solid movie. One of the little guy survives, and I know I saw part 2 and part 3. Part 4 I may have seen. I don't really remember. The second and third one were okay, I guess. I don't remember much. I remember some of the kills. But the worst, I'm going to go with, there's a kill in Wrong Turn 5 where the little giggling bastard, and now he's got a couple more inbred relatives that show up, and the makeup effects have gone downhill considerably from the first one. Okay. But they take one of the guys, and they bury him in like a soccer or football field up to the neck, and they run him over with a lawnmower. And, it goes on and on. You're waiting for the lawnmower to get to him, and the head does not look great when it finally happens. They run over somebody else with a lawnmower after that, the big industrial thing. And it's really gory and graphic, and those effects look much better. And this head that kind of explodes under the lawnmower isn't the worst head ever. And in fact, there might even be some worse ones in movies that we like. The only thing is, though, I'm including this for worst kill because after this, there was a series of kills where the bad guys would take people and set up these traps. You know, if you open the car door, a knife would slice somebody and things like that. They had a number of these traps. And I'm sorry, that's not what the cannibals in Wrong Turn were about. They were about, you come into our territory, we're going to capture you, we're going to kill you, we're going to eat you. They weren't about like torturing people and setting up traps. Maybe the little guy was more into that than the other two guys. I don't know. But it was just goofy. It was kind of like the Saw syndrome strikes again, you know. Wrong Turn is not Saw. So that's why I'm including that as the worst kill. Final Girl. I don't, you know, again, as I mentioned in the other video, I haven't seen a lot of the Friday the 13th sequels. The ones I've seen, I haven't seen in years. Same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street. So I didn't just want to take someone else's pick. So then I started thinking about this movie, and I went back and watched about 10 minutes of it. I forget if her name is Lena or Lita. Anyway, she's in the jail cell. And by the way, they bring in Doug Bradley in this one, okay? To give it some gravitas or something. And so he knows what's going on with these cannibals. He's not a cannibal, or these inbred cannibals. He looks like Doug Bradley. But he knows, you know, kind of like the gas station guy in The Hills Have Eyes who has a connection to the cannibals. Anyway, so he's in this jail cell, and this girl, she has like a gun, I think, even. But it's this weird thing where she turns around and then cuts away, and I guess he had cuts out her eyes somehow, even though she has a gun. And then later she leaves because he's like tormenting her, and like, I guess so he does the whole movie. He just runs his mouth and annoys people. And she goes outside, and she's blind now, and it's kind of fakey, you know. I don't know. Anyway, but she gets picked up by the cannibal guys and inbred cannibal guys, and they ride away, and that's that. So I mean, first of all, I mean, I think in her state she would have been blasted away. Second of all, someone comes up to you, doesn't speak. I don't know. This movie sucks. Worst series, Wrong Turn, because I haven't seen, you know, I mean, Amityville series sounds dreadful. I mean, Amityville Clown House and Amityville Cop, I mean, sounds hysterical, right? The second one was okay. I remember that years ago, but, you know, I haven't seen all the Leprechauns. I'm not. So, again, I haven't seen part 6 of Wrong Turn. I may have seen part 4, I don't remember, but just because I feel like beating up on this some more. Worst series, Wrong Turn. Sir, the first one starts out so good. The fifth one, by the way, yeah, let's beat up on the fifth one some more. There's the makeup. The makeup, was it Stan Winston in the first one? The big guys with the humps and the facial deformities and the cleft palates. It was so good. It just totally went downhill after that. You know what I mean? And especially by the fifth one. And first of all, like right away, I remember watching this. I'm like, those woods don't look like West Virginia. How could you screw that up? The town was fake. It was like a studio town. It turned out to be filmed in Bulgaria. I picked that out right away. I was like, this was not filmed in the United States. It was just El Cheapo all around. And like I said, it went off into a weird direction, a Saw-inspired direction with the kills. The acting was, I guess the acting was all right. It wasn't. The direction was bad. It was bad. Bad. So, that's what I'm going with. Wrong Turn. Worst series that I've seen. That's sort of my caveat. Thanks. See you later.